So friends, I wanted to share with you this often overlooked path to depression and how we can prevent it. So I talk a lot about how depression is an over-attachment and identification with past events, memories, experiences that didn't really go our way. And like a clingy partner, we grab onto certain memories and experiences that keep us trapped in that place in the past, which we can never physically revisit. One of the biggest factors that keeps us anchored in the past, in that memory, in that awful experience, is lack of an ideal to strive towards, lack of perception in the future. We all have heroes as kids. They keep life interesting and meaningful as we strive to emulate what they stand for. Really true characteristics worth pursuing, like courage, humility, respect, and ultimately helping other people. However, somewhere along the line we stopped seeking these virtues and started clinging onto the capes of these heroes. What I mean by that is we started looking at the trappings of what success appears like and what is perceived to be, instead of the character of the individual themselves. We lose sight of our values and we drown in the attachment of the remnants of what we used to have. I'm a very firm believer in mentors. I think men especially need mentors, but women as well. Mentors are our ideals to strive towards. You can tell a lot by a person by asking them who they really admire, inspire to be like, or here's a good one, is whose advice they really value in their lives. And this can be anyone. It can be a historical figure, family member, public figure, or even fiction based, a novel or a narrative. So I guess in this moment it would be nice to kind of have a little thought experiment and think about, who are our heroes in our lives? Who do you really admire? Who do you strive to emulate? Who do you see as a mentor and a guide? Because it feels like to me, in this world we live in nowadays, is the lack of credible answers to this kind of question, who is your hero, makes me quite fearful for the future and the youth especially. Because as I kind of framed in the beginning, heroes are ideals to strive towards. They are goals, okay? If you do not have a mentor, if you do not have a hero, if you do not have someone you admire, you have no reference for the place you're trying to get to. You have no goal. You have no criteria to look to move towards. I liken having a hero is like having a map to the place you want to go. If you're unsure of what action to take moving forwards, especially if you're presented with a very difficult and challenging situation in front of yourself, you're going to want to take a perspective from your mentor or your hero, someone you admire. What would they do in this situation? How can I move towards the character and the place I want to be by casting my mind back to my mentor, someone who really inspires me, and thinking, what would they do in this situation? And I guess I really want to kind of conclude with that sentiment is, remember the people who really got you excited about like living life and contributing to the world, because it makes me feel a kind of way when I ask, especially young people and people my age and maybe even a little bit older than me, well, who do you really respect and admire in your life? And do you have someone that you're trying to emulate in some way? And there's really a lack of attention to that kind of question. And if that is something you are not asking yourself constantly, maybe that is a path to depression that you have already in some way made that turn. That is the path to nihilism, an uncaring view of what happens to you and the world. So ask yourself, Who's really important for me to emulate? Whose message really resonates with me and I can bring forth their teachings to my friends, to my family, to my colleagues, to people who need it the most. And if that is something you resonate with and you can take something valuable away from that, I would implore you and press on you to subscribe and like the video, and let me know who your mentors are. I would like to know who, especially if you're, let's say, between the ages of 16 to 25, who really speaks to you in the way you should live your life for the future. And I'm going to see you next time.